Graeme Perks. Since the millennium, we've been involved as volunteers in a project called Skillbuilders. We didn't realise it, but at the time we were a social enterprise, so it's groups of people in business doing their bit to support the next generation of furniture makers, butchers, bakers that we need to keep our market towns unique and special, living and live. As part of that journey, a year ago we became a community interest company. We're still all volunteers. Also during the journey of the last 5 years, some of us became elected members of a district council, thinking that we could change things from within, but actually got quite disillusioned by the amount of process, and the better use of our altruistic time is actually doing what we started off doing, which is putting stuff back, working with schools, working with colleges. We have things like butchers and bakers going into schools, we have furniture makers doing very practical things to nurture the next generation of young people. Now obviously for us the next logical step, because we work across 3 counties, is to start getting some sustainability, a base, perhaps community owned workshops, perhaps places where there could be a butchery school. We want to work with businesses to refreshen up the market towns, because we've seen recessions before and redundant buildings are nothing new. So for us a key element is going to be a income stream. As a not-for-profit company, as a social enterprise, we want to have an income that is generated by trading. So we can make community seating and sell it. We can do all sorts of projects that generate an income. But one of the key things is going to be into the next upwave is having an affordable space. So now's the time to look at buying, procuring something on a sensible basis. Because one thing for sure, the downturn goes quickly, you'll be up into an upturn and you'll have inflationary times. So for us, looking at development trusts, looking at asset, not necessarily ownership, but just being able to have access to it at a sensible rate for 20 years is where we're looking to go. I mean, I gave up looking at policy documents after I became and decided not to stand again, because to me I think you need doers, and those doers need to influence those that are policy minded. You need doers on the ground doing stuff. You need to feed that into the more, if you like, the intellectual, academic view, which it should inform and support doers in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So I've actually in a way decided to go back to the trenches, lead from the front, do things, share what you're doing. So we're working with Yorkshire Forward, we're working with the South West, we're working with the Welsh Development Agency. So you get, if you like, little hot spots of activity where people are just doing it. And if you're open and transparent, that can be best practice by sharing what you're doing, telling people, showing, as opposed to perhaps informing policy documents, which is perhaps the right way to go. But if you're like me, a furniture maker, and most of the people who work with us are not that academic, actually doing stuff is the easiest way to demonstrate the need. In that, if we had not have had a small chamber of trade that I was chair of at the time that allowed us to have an accountable body status, we would never have had some of the support that we've had. So the networks of the business community, getting schools to liaise together through the diplomas, getting community groups, festivals and events to showcase what young people do. But I'm a believer now in networks that do stuff, not networks that are set up to be networks.